Good morning aspirants, welcome to Daily Current Affairs Analysis brought to you by Shankar IAS Academy. Today's date is 17th May 2025. So these are the articles we are going to discuss in this video. The first article is about Article 201 of Indian Constitution, which deals with the governor's reservation of bills for president. The second article is about International Atomic Energy Agency. The third article is about Earth Observation Satellite of ISRO. The fourth article is about total fertility rate and increasing fertility rate in Bihar. So these are the four articles we are going to discuss in this video. Now let us get into the discussion. Before getting into the discussion, this is an important announcement. Shankar IAS Academy's All India mock test, the third test will be conducted on 18th May. So interested aspirants can use it. Now let us get into the discussion. Now look at this article. Recently, Supreme Court has ordered for the fixing time frame of governor to act on the state government bills. So regarding this, President has recently asked the opinion of Supreme Court under Article 143. So this is recently seen in news. What is Article 143? What is Article 142? And what is the status of governor on giving assent to the bills? So this is what we are going to discuss here. Firstly, about Article 201. So recently the Supreme Court has declared a verdict on Tamil Nadu government case on granting assent to the state legislature bills. So more than 10 bills were pending before the governor of state legislature of Tamil Nadu. So the Tamil Nadu government has appealed to the Supreme Court regarding the governor to take action on these bills, and the Supreme Court has said that the Supreme Court has determined a time frame for governor and president to act on the state legislature bills. So this is about Article 201. The governor can give assent to the bill, he can withhold the assent, and he can return the bill for reconsideration. So this happens when the governor reserves a bill for president. So these are the powers of president regarding a state legislature bill. So this power is given to the president under Article 201. And if you look at the union government bills, the president can return the bill for reconsideration, but once the union legislature has given the bill for reconsideration, then the president has to give his assent. But in case of state legislature bills, the president can return the bill for reconsideration any number of times. So there is no limit for returning the bill for reconsideration, and there is no time frame for president to act on the state legislature bill. There is also no time frame mentioned in Article 201, and the president can also return the bill for reconsideration any number of times. So these are the loopholes which are used by union government regarding the state government bills. So that is why more than 10 bills have been pending before the governor for his assent, and the governor of Tamil Nadu is showing inaction towards assenting the government bills. So this is why Tamil Nadu government has approached the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court has set time limit for president and governor to act on the bills. And regarding this case, now the president has sought an opinion from the Supreme Court. So president has a power to seek the opinion of Supreme Court under Article 143. So this article gives power to the president to seek opinion of Supreme Court on constitutional or legal matters. And the opinion rendered by the Supreme Court is not advisory on the president. So it is not a binding opinion. President can ask the opinion from Supreme Court, but when the Supreme Court gives opinion to the president, it is not binding. So this is about the Article 143. And there are two kinds of opinion which can be sought from the Supreme Court. One is regarding the pre-constitutional treaties and the agreements before 1947, which are signed before 1947. And the opinion regarding or interpretation regarding this pre-constitutional treaties or agreements, these opinions are also not binding on the president, but the Supreme Court has to render the advice. And president can also ask the Supreme Court opinion on important legal issues or important constitutional issues. So the Supreme Court may or may not provide advice, but this advice is also not binding on the president. So basically the advice given by Supreme Court in the Article 143 is not binding, is not legally binding on the president. It is only advisory in nature. And there is another article, Article 142. And under this Article 142 only, the Supreme Court has given the judgment on fixing the time frame for president and governor to act on the state legislature bills. So this judgment was given by Supreme Court on Article 142, and this Article 142 grants the power to Supreme Court to provide complete justice on certain legal or constitutional issues. So this is an extraordinary power of Supreme Court, and it should be used only rarely, and Supreme Court has used it recently on the fixing time frame for governor and president to act on the state bills. Previously, Supreme Court has used this Article 142 to give compensation to Bhopal gas tragedy victims in Union Carbide case, and also during the Ram Janmabhoomi case to grant the land allocation. So this is an extraordinary power given to Supreme Court under Article 142 for doing complete justice on a legal issue. So these are about Article 143, Article 142 and Article 201. So these are recently seen in the news. Let us get clear about these articles. Now look at this question: which of the following statement is truth about Article 201? It allows the president to return a bill for reconsideration. Yes, the statement is correct. It imposes 6-month time limit on president decision. No, it does not impose any time limit or time frame on the president or governor. So the statement 2 is incorrect. It is invoked when the governor reserves a bill for president consideration. Yes, the statement is correct. So the correct statement is 1 and 3 only. So with this, let us wind up the discussion and move to the next news article. Now look at this article. India's Defence Minister Mr. Rajnath Singh has said that Pakistan's nuclear weapon should be carefully watched by International Atomic Energy Agency. So this is a news. In this context, let us discuss about how Pakistan acquired nuclear weapons and how India acquired nuclear weapons and what is the role of International Atomic Energy Agency. So this is what we are going to discuss here. Now look at this map. These are the countries which have nuclear weapons currently. So US, United Kingdom, France, Russia, China. So these are the P5 countries which have nuclear weapons, which produced nuclear weapons before 1967. So these P5 countries created the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty in 1970, and according to this treaty, no country should develop nuclear weapons except these 5 countries. But India didn't join this non-proliferation treaty, and India said that this is a discriminatory treaty because it only grants the right to have nuclear weapons only to the 5 countries of the world. So India considered this non-proliferation treaty as discriminatory and didn't sign this treaty. So after 1970s, in 1974, India conducted its first nuclear test, that is Operation Smiling Buddha. After India's nuclear test, Pakistan felt the urge to create its own nuclear weapon. So it got help from China, and it created the nuclear weapon and conducted its test in 1998. In 1998, India also conducted the second nuclear test, Pokhran 2. So this is about India and Pakistan acquiring the nuclear weapons. Both India and Pakistan are not the signatory to nuclear non-proliferation treaty. So Israel also got the nuclear weapons after 1970s, and North Korea also got the nuclear weapons, and Iran is currently working on developing the nuclear weapon. So in 1957, an organization called International Atomic Energy Agency was created, and this organization was created for making the peaceful use of nuclear materials, not for weapons but for peaceful uses in agricultural field, in water desalination, in generating electricity, etc. So let us look at this International Atomic Energy Agency and what is its role in the nuclear non-proliferation. So it was established in 1957. The then President of United States, Mr. Eisenhower, has created an Atoms for Peace initiative, and under this initiative only this Atomic Energy Agency was developed. So its headquarters is in Vienna in Austria, and India is a member of its International Atomic Energy Agency since 1957, and it cooperates voluntarily, which means it has its nuclear facilities open to the inspection of Atomic Energy Agency. So these are the functions of Atomic Energy Agency. it prevents the nuclear weapon proliferation, which means the member countries who are signatory to this Atomic Energy Agency have to open up their nuclear facilities for regular inspection of this agency. So the agency will inspect the nuclear facilities whether the nuclear material is used for peaceful purposes or for creation of weapons. So it prevents any violation of the rules. Next one is it promotes the useful use of nuclear energy, which means it aids the countries to have the peaceful technologies like energy generation, electricity generation, or for having the nuclear desalination or for agricultural purposes. Even also in medicinal uses for medical technologies, this nuclear material can be used. So it promotes the peaceful use of nuclear energy. Next, it ensures the nuclear safety and security. So it promotes the nuclear material for peaceful purposes, and it also have regular inspections to find out the safety measures and promotes the safety of nuclear facilities all over the world. The next one, it verifies and monitors the nuclear activities. So it always monitors the nuclear activities and nuclear tests which are conducted all over the world. And recently, the International Atomic Energy Agency has been inspecting the Iran's nuclear facility, and it is suspicious that Iran is secretly developing the nuclear weapon and it is diverting the nuclear material for creating nuclear weapon. So once Atomic Energy Agency finds out whether a country is diverting its nuclear material for weapon, then it reports to the UN Security Council. So the International Atomic Energy Agency reports to the UN Security Council about the violations of the rules by member countries. So this is about the International Atomic Energy Agency, and India is a signatory to this agency. Next, we are going to see about the Non-Proliferation Treaty. So this Non-Proliferation Treaty was created in 1968 and it came into force in 1970. So it is initiated by these P5 countries: China, USA, UK, France and Russia. So these countries have created nuclear weapons before 1967, and these countries are termed as P5 countries, and they have the only right to have nuclear weapon according to this nuclear non-proliferation treaty. So India, Pakistan, Israel didn't sign this treaty because they termed the treaty as a discriminatory one. North Korea at first signed the treaty but then withdrew in 2003. So this is the status of this non-proliferation treaty, and this treaty aims to prevent the proliferation of nuclear weapons and aims to promote the peaceful use of the nuclear weapons. Now look at this prelims practice question regarding this non-proliferation treaty. It legally binds both nuclear and non-nuclear states to pursue disarmament. Yes, the statement is correct, because this treaty has members more than 190 countries, and it legally binds both the nuclear and non-nuclear states. So the nuclear states should not proliferate their nuclear weapons, and non-nuclear states should not develop any nuclear weapon. So it is a legally binding treaty. India is signatory but not ratified the treaty. No, India is not even a signatory to this treaty. India considers this treaty as a discriminatory one, and it only favors the P5 countries. So India didn't sign the treaty. The treaty allows for peaceful use of nuclear technology under safeguards. Yes, the statement is correct. So the correct answer is option A, 1 and 3 only. So with this, let us conclude the discussion and move to the next topic. Now look at this article. ISRO is going to launch its 101st launch vehicle, which will carry the Earth Observation Satellite 9. So this is an important news regarding ISRO, and there is also another important news regarding ISRO this week. This is about Chandrayaan 5 mission. Japanese Space Agency and ISRO are going to collaborate for the Chandrayaan 5 mission, and another one is launching of this Earth Observation Satellite. So let us discuss about these two things in this part of discussion. First of all, let us see about the Earth Observation Satellite 9. So in the name itself, it is Earth Observation Satellite, and it will use synthetic aperture radar. So this synthetic aperture radar is a kind of camera which captures the Earth's surface, and it uses the radar technology to monitor the Earth's surface. So it provides high resolution images about the surface of Earth. This satellite will orbit in the sun synchronous orbit of Earth, and it will be launched using the PSLV C61 launch vehicle, and it will be launched from the Satish Dhawan Space Center. So this synthetic aperture radar has many uses, and it is also used in the RISAT satellite, which is a satellite sent by ISRO, and it is also used in NISAR, which is a collaboration between ISRO and NASA. So this NISAR is also an Earth observation satellite, and in this satellite also the synthetic aperture radar is used. So this synthetic aperture radar is a term which is always related to the Earth observation. So most of the Earth observation satellites nowadays carry this synthetic aperture radar. So how this synthetic aperture radar is useful in many fields for ISRO. Firstly, know that this synthetic aperture radar can capture images of Earth's surface during the daytime and even also during the night time. It can capture images during the rain, storms, or any natural disaster. So it is an all-weather imaging, and it can capture images both during day and night. Now, in terms of application, this synthetic aperture radar is used in agricultural. In agriculture, we can monitor the cropping pattern, the changes in agricultural cropping pattern, and we can also monitor the increase in the use of pesticides and crop burning of residues. So stubble burning thing which is happening in Punjab, Uttar Pradesh and Haryana, and the extent of stubble burning in these states can be monitored using this synthetic aperture radar. So in agricultural field it is used, and in border surveillance, like it can see through the enemy camouflages. So enemies building infrastructure near the border, we can monitor this using the synthetic aperture radar, and we can also monitor the movement of enemies in the border. So it is also used in military application. It has military applications, and in terms of disaster management also we can monitor the extent of flood affected areas or the impact of flood, earthquake or storms. So it is also used in disaster management. And in terms of environment, this synthetic aperture radar can help us to find the extent of forest cover. So whether there is an increase in forest cover or decrease in forest cover, how much extent of deforestation has happened. So all these things can be monitored using the synthetic aperture radar. So these are the applications of this. It has a wide variety of applications. So basically this is an Earth observation satellite which carries the synthetic aperture radar. Now let us discuss about the Chandrayaan 5. See, Chandrayaan 5 mission is also named as the LUPEX mission, Lunar Polar Exploration. So basically this mission is going to study about the moon's south pole. The south pole of the moon is very less studied and very less known to humans, because we cannot see the moon's south pole no matter how much or how the moon rotates. The moon's south pole is always invisible to us. It is always on the other side of the earth. So this moon south pole is very less studied, and this Chandrayaan 5 is going to study the environment in the moon south pole, whether there is a water cover or ice cover on the moon south pole, and what is regarding the environment of the moon south pole. So this is the aim of this Chandrayaan 5 mission, and it is a collaboration between ISRO and JAXA. So Japanese Space Agency JAXA and ISRO is going to collaborate for the launch of this Chandrayaan 5 mission. The lander for the mission will be developed by ISRO, and the rover for the mission which developed by the Mitsubishi Heavy Industries of Japan. So this is about Chandrayaan 5. Now look at this prelims practice question. Consider the following statements regarding NVS-2 satellite. It is ISRO's 100th mission and was launched using GSLV 5F15. Yes, this statement is correct. The NVS-2 is a second satellite in NVS series, and it is part of India's navigation with Indian constellation, that is NAV-IC. Yes, this NVS satellite is a part of India's regional navigation satellite system, that is NVIC. So it is also ISRO's 100th mission and was launched using GSLV F-15. So both of the statements are correct and the correct answer is option C. So with this, let us wind up the discussion for this article. Let us move on to the next article. Now look at this article. It is about the Sample Registration System Report 2021. This report was published by Registrar General of India, and this report shows that Bihar has the highest total fertility rate in India. It has 3.0 as total fertility rate. The replacement level fertility rate is 2.1, and most of the states are having 2 as total fertility rate, but Bihar has the highest fertility rate of 3. So the national average itself is 2.0. Even in the urban areas of Bihar, the total fertility rate is 2.3, which is above the replacement level fertility, and in the rural parts it may reach up to 3.1. So Bihar has the highest total fertility rate, and this shows that Bihar is behind the fertility reduction compared to other states. Now, what are the main reasons for Bihar having this much total fertility rate, and what will be the impacts of this? So this is what we are going to discuss in this discussion. The most important reason for this increasing fertility rate is poverty. For example, families may want more children for their labor and for old age support. And the poverty is not the only reason. Other reasons include social norms, low female education, limited health care, and poor social security. So if you look at the rural areas, they prefer having more children. Also with the low female literacy in Bihar, which is also contributing to this high fertility rate, because the female literacy rate is just 53% in Bihar. The national average is 88%. So the low female literacy and limited decision making power for women also contributes to this high fertility rates. Even though Bihar has various schemes for girls and women, the schemes such as providing bicycles or forming self-help groups, these schemes fail to bring the real empowerment. So they lack in proper implementation, and also the poor education system and weak healthcare infrastructure as a major disadvantage for women in Bihar. So this low literacy rate and poor education system, weak healthcare infrastructure, and limited decision making for women, all these factors play an important role in high fertility rate in Bihar. Now, how this high fertility rate will impact the society? If the fertility rate continues to increase, it will affect India's demographic dividend. More people without proper education or skills may become a burden for country rather than a strength. Also, they will strain the public services like schools, hospitals, and housing. Moreover, the states with high fertility rate will have larger population, and this create imbalances in political representation. For example, the seats in central legislature. And moreover, the high fertility rates puts extra pressure on women. They create extra pressure for women both physically and emotionally, and also limits their freedom. So these are the important impacts on the society for having high fertility rates. Now let us discuss the way forward. In order to address this, we must promote the girls' education and increase the women's decision making power. The women should have better access to the reproductive health care and family planning services. Awareness campaigns through media, schools, and community healthcare workers should be launched. The government should also offer incentives for family planning, and special focus should be given to the slum areas in urban and also for the poor rural areas. So these are where the high fertility rates are noticed, and these areas should be given prioritized, and the family planning programs and the awareness campaigns should be conducted in these areas. Indian Constitution also support these measures. For example, Article 47 directs the states to improve the health and nutrition of people. Article 21A, which deals with the right to education, has also been linked to this better fertility control. The National Health Mission and National Population Policy also promotes the voluntary family planning. So basically, the Bihar having high fertility rate is linked to poverty, limited decision making power for women, lack of reproductive healthcare infrastructure, and lack of family planning programs. So these can be better improved by giving education to women, awareness campaigns, and improving the healthcare system. So these are the important things discussed in the editorial article. With this, let us conclude the discussion. With this, we have come to the end of the discussion. If you like the video, please share it with your friends and don't forget to subscribe to Shankar IAS Academy YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.